Hello and welcome to Gutter Farms. We're back on Farmville and we have Courseplay upgraded to version 7.115. So let's see if everything is still working here. Hopefully nothing new is broken. We're on the unload combine course. We're going to go ahead and set our field position to field 18. And our target position should just be us, so that's good to go. And then if I hit start job, I think we're going to be good. I'm going to bump our empty when over up to 95% because I think that's how much we need to completely fill a hopper. And I don't know where the combine's trying to go right now. Our contracts are our first two are at 80% because we're waiting for grain to get delivered. I'm really unsure why the unloader is moving at all right now because our combine isn't empty, although our combine is getting hung up here on the headlands yet again. That's all right. We're gonna just help it out. I think it's just this really sharp corner. It couldn't figure out how to get all the way turned around here. I'm not sure though, but we're gonna get going again here. It should work better on these parts. And this guy, I do want to speed him up a bit. Make sure he can move on the field. I'm worried he's trying to go to that truck that's on a different field right now. Yeah, we're gonna stop you right there. I don't know what your deal is, but whatever you're trying to do, just knock it off. We're gonna put you back in here. I'm going to set the target position to be right there. And we're going to set our field position to be right there. And then I'm going to hit start. And hopefully he's just going to sit here and wait for the combine. Well, let's go ahead and pull this truck out here over into the other field. See if we can get everything going over here. We're going to tarp up the front because we're all done with that. I don't think I need a tarp on the back just to go across the road. We're not going to be going that far or that fast. I think I am going to try and put this truck into the field, though, because I don't want to have any issues with Courseplay trying to come out here and unfill on the road. So we're just going to put it over here, and it should be able to find it, no problems. We might have to move it out of the way once the combine gets into this section. I don't know actually where the combine's going to go, so maybe we'll pull it over here a little bit onto the grass. We'll leave it partially onto the field. And I'll put it down here on the end. I don't think Courseplay is going to cause me any problems down here. And we've got enough room to get around and sneak out here if we need to. Now, this is going to be kind of an awkward corner here as well. We're going to see if we need to do any babysitting or not. Looks like Courseplay's figuring things out. And, of course, it is going to get stuck here. It's just so unfortunate. We'll turn it off. Will give us a little bit more turn, and I think it's going to figure it out. Maybe not. I just don't know exactly what path we need to be on here. Maybe this one? That looks like it's doing it. We've probably got a few little bits missed there from how we were turning, but it is what it is. Hopefully this isn't an ongoing thing. Hopefully next time I'm not going to set up with sharp corners. I think it might be the sharp corners that's causing us more grief here, because it's every time he turns it seems to be a problem. So if you've run into this and you know how to fix this with Courseplay, let me know for sure, because I'm rather disappointed that we're having these issues. It's not the newest version of Courseplay. This is the same version I was using on the barley field before we did the update here a minute ago, so I don't think it's anything new that's broke since I did that. So the only thing I can think of is the turn mode that I've selected. So we'll definitely not use that one next time and see what's happening. But if this is going to be a problem every time the combine needs to turn around, that's going to make Courseplay almost unusable. Looks like we were able to do the turnaround this time without intervention, though. So that's encouraging, at least. We'll see how well that continues. We're at 68% here. I think I read in the Courseplay documentation that the way this mode works currently, it always calls at 80%. There's no setting to have it call earlier. I know as we get into bigger equipment, bigger fields, I tend to like to call a lot earlier than that. I think I'd actually call it around 50% so that the grain cart would start working its way out to the combine in time to get there before it gets full. In the smaller fields and smaller equipment like this, it's going to work fine. But if I've got a couple of big X9s running on a huge field that aren't necessarily right next to each other, I'd love the ability to adjust when the combine's going to call for a unloader to come and get his grain. But as you can see there, 80%, the grain cart started moving. So I'm not too worried about it, although I'm not exactly excited about where that grain cart decided to stop. So we're going to see what happens here now. Some of this is my fault because we've got kind of a squirrely area there. But it looks like we're going to just get stuck here. Oh, maybe not. I'm surprised it was able to figure that out. It looks like the combine's... Oh, I was going to say, it looks like the combine looks like it's going to wait to unload, but maybe not. Maybe he's just going to get going here. We've got some crazy headland stuff. It's doing this weird turnaround because I've got the sharp turn mode set, I think. I'm not a fan. We're definitely not using this turn mode again, folks. I liked it for the outside headland parts with the corners, but how it's turning around with the normal parts of the field here is a little bit ridiculous. And of course it's getting stuck again. I'm not seeing any errors in the log or that it's trying to find a path right now. So yeah, it's just getting stuck. It's so weird. All right, well, let's give this another try. I've restarted it. I don't know if that means I'm going to have to restart this guy. Probably. Nope. He's going to figure it out, even though that means driving through the middle of the crops. Oh my goodness. Well, I'll say, even if we're having some struggles with the combine, the grain cart seems to have gotten its act together. I think right now it's searching for a path out to that combine that doesn't involve driving over crops if it can help it. So let's see how good of a job it does. It's going to make a nice U-turn here. Yeah, so it, instead of just turning over this little row of oats here, we've found a path to get out here without destroying anything. Now, I do have a vertical offset still set on this, but I don't have a horizontal offset set on the grain cart anymore because that was one of the fixes I saw in the notes for Courseplay, is that the offsets got recalculated. And so I'm going to let this thing go on its own and see how well it does from a horizontal perspective. And then we may also need to adjust our vertical offset again once we get going. Looks like we're a smidge closer than you'd want to be, but not too bad. I'm going to let it do its thing, and our vertical offset's putting us right in the middle of the grain cart for the most part. So, all things considered, I like where this is at. In fact, we're actually a little far forward. I'm going to back this off. Maybe a whole half meter. And we'll see how this works when we go to unload into the grain truck. We're at 100% oats here, and I can tell Courseplay's doing its thing because I've dropped a few frame rate. And so I'm going to let the combine turn around here before I get too concerned that the unloader isn't moving, because now the unloader is doing its thing. It couldn't find a good path without driving through our oats, unfortunately. I always hate seeing it go through the crops, but it is what it is. It does a pretty good job. It's just not perfect yet. Hopefully we've stayed far enough away from the corner of the field that we can make a loop and get lined up here alongside the truck. I know there's been improvements for multi-hopper vehicles and trailers and stuff with the latest version of Courseplay for the unloader, so I think really it should be able to do its thing. There we go. Pulling right on up there with the trailer. Looks like we're pretty lined up. Shouldn't be too far out the back. There it is. So yeah, in general, I've been pretty impressed with the new Courseplay unloader. Again, it's only working if you have Courseplay controlling the combine, which normally wouldn't be a concern for me, except our combine does seem to be having a lot more issues in this field. I know we're beating a dead horse here now, complaining about it anymore, but it does feel like the combine has gotten a lot worse. I think it's this turning mode. Either way, let's get this truck run up to the elevator. I'm really curious to see if this is going to knock out the contracts that we have, the first couple of contracts. Oh my goodness, that's quite the drop off there. So I want to get this truck ran up to the elevator here and get our contracts knocked off, the first couple of there. But before I do, I'm just going to stick around for one moment, make sure this combine is going to get started. It looks like it's good to go, and hopefully the grain cart is going to not wait around for a truck to finish getting emptied, but rather continue to go empty that combine when it calls for an unloader. We'll find out, though. It's always interesting to me to see how some of these things react in different scenarios here. I know if we were to bring an empty truck onto the field right now, that unloader would go and unload into it, I'm pretty sure. So we'll see if it's smart enough to handle things. All right, we are up here at the co-op. I'm going to go ahead and get these contracts dumped off here. We're going to start with the front hopper here. Let's see how this goes. I'm curious if, I know that I got more than one contract's worth in the first hopper alone, so let's see if we complete that contract and then start into the next one, or if it starts selling. I'm always curious. Yep, there's field 18. Oh, it's going to do them in reverse order, so we're knocking out the oats delivered on the contract we're in the middle of rather than the two that we finished. I do wish that instead of doing it like that, it would always try to knock out the most completed contract first would be great. So we're now 52% transported for field 18. Well, so this should finish off the transport part of field 18 altogether and start moving into one of the other contracts. There we go, 71%, 100% transported for field 18. So that last bit went into field 21's at 17%. So we're getting there, folks. We've got to run another truck up here to knock those contracts out. I was really hoping to just knock those two contracts off the list and be totally done with them, but unfortunately, not going to work out that way for us. And we're coming back up here. It looks like our combine, of course, got stuck on the other end. Stupid combine. I should have thought about that and checked on him, so we haven't made a whole lot of progress in our absence here. I'm going to go ahead and park this right here. And honestly, I'm not even sure where we're supposed to go from here. Because it's lands mode, I've got to figure out where the next spot that we were going to cut in is going to be. But since I don't know, what we're going to do is grab the corner part here and just take care of this, and then we'll go and just put him in a random spot, I guess, up here, and let him go and clean up what's left after the fact, I suppose. I don't even know. It's always something here. I guess we can turn on the Courseplay course here. This green dot, I think, indicates where my next waypoint was going to be, or maybe that's just a turn. That's just a turn, so... It looks like maybe I'm supposed to go here. That's my guess. Right here is the next cut in. There we go. Start course. I'm going to have a couple of missed bits there. It's going to drive me nuts, but I'm pretty sure this is where we're supposed to go. And if it's not, we'll deal with it later, folks. So he's going. I'm going to let this guy sit. I'm still super curious. I think he's going to wait and go unload the combine when the combine gets to 80%. And I don't want to touch the Courseplay driver here. I want to see that it's going to work successfully despite the issues with our combine. And he is half full. Our combine's at 63%, so we should be ready to unload here shortly. It looks like the grain cart driver is actually following us down here now to be closer when we get to 80%. So they must have made some changes there, because I'm kind of surprised to see it coming down here. Now, the fact that it's out in the middle of our field right now is a big problem for us, but other than that, I'm excited to see that it's going to be in a position to unload when we get to 80% rather than waiting until we were there to start moving out into the field. I wonder if they bumped it up to start driving at maybe 75%. I didn't really see when he started moving. I just heard the tractor coming behind us. And I have to give the combine driver props for making the turn without any intervention. So things are shaping up here pretty quick. In field 18, we're already 81% complete, which is awesome. I think a big chunk of that, though, is that we've already delivered all of our grain for this field, despite having a good chunk left to harvest. We will have to harvest the rest of this to get enough grain to complete those other 2 contracts, though. Looks like the combine emptied out here, and we're only at 88% in the grain carts, so it's going to have to wait around until we get the combine filled back up here again. Honestly, there's probably not a full truck left in this field. There's probably not even another grain cart worth. I think we'll be able to unload maybe only 2 more times and be done with this field. Well, the combine has now made multiple rounds here without needing any intervention, so I'm really starting to gain some confidence in its ability to at least to do normal work. I don't know why we were having so much problems in the earlier parts of this field, but things are behaving now. Now that I say that, we'll probably have some issues with this next turn, but that's Courseplay for you. And as we continue making these rounds, I'm noticing like we're only at 36% full, and we got 2 more rounds here, I think, on this section of the field before we get into the tiny part there. I don't even think we're going to get to needing to unload into the grain cart before we finish this field at the rate we're going. We will, obviously, but I'm really nervous about having enough grain to finish the contracts for some reason all of a sudden. And it looks like maybe we missed a pass or 2 when I had to reset the combine driver. We might have to go over there and finish that part manually. And of course here, like I said, we said that everything was working fine, and so it's gotta stop working for me. We're gonna get him lined up here a little bit. It's just like he can't quite turn tight enough to get into places sometimes. I don't know. It's so strange, so strange. Again, if anybody has experienced this issue and knows how to resolve it, please let me know, because I would love to get past this problem. So we finished the other section over there with Courseplay, and now we're going to come back over here and just manually clean up this bit that I missed. I don't really know where the course is. I'm not even going to bother trying to figure it out. We're just going to completely blow away our Courseplay course and do this bit by hand, because, well, I don't know where the course is. I'm too lazy to figure it out, and it's the last round. We're not going to get to 80% in the combine here for it to even call the Courseplay worker. So, why not finish off the last round by hand? Can't let the hired help have all the fun. The final pass here. Hopefully we have enough oats in the grain cart and the combine here combined to get the contracts knocked out here. I know we've got 2 contracts still that we need to finish off, so I'm confident that we'll have enough. It's just always slightly concerning when it does things out of order. If we look at the details here on these 2 that we have, Oh yeah, we've only got to deliver 7,000 liters and 18,000 liters. We'll have that no problems. And then here we can actually go ahead and collect on the field we're in now, but I don't want to do that because if I hit that collect button, the contract ends and this field goes back into a different state and we won't be able to harvest on it, and that'd be really bad. Now I gotta get this row of shame that we lost while we were in the menus there, not paying attention to our driving. There we go, 90%. So we did end up managing to fill up the combine just about. I could go put it in the grain cart, but the tarp's on the grain cart right now, so we'll just unload right into the truck with this one and then get the combine out of the way. We'll back that grain cart right up in here and get it unloaded, I think. While that's unloading, we might as well fire this up, get the auger unfolding here. Oh, we've got the AI worker on the combine still here. Now what I want to do is get the combine out of the way. I want to fill up that front hopper first, I think, just to make sure that we're all the way full there. I guess it doesn't really matter that much. I get so picky about where I put things. Oh, this thing is full, actually. I guess I missed that we did end up unloading into this and filling it up. Fascinating. Well, we've got more grain than I thought we did then. So we're going to be able to definitely finish off these contracts and make a couple bucks on selling the leftover oats. I don't think it's worth it for me to put them into storage. I don't think we're going to have that much. I'd rather just get rid of them here. When we did the barley on that other field, we had quite a bit of barley left, I felt like, so we hung on to that. But these oats, I think, are just going to go straight to getting sold. Maybe we'll knock out a bit more of our debt here. We do have a little bit of money left over after we got done with all the shenanigans with the header, and doing that barley contract gave us some money, so I think we're starting to get into a good spot here where ideally by the end of this year, especially with being able to start selling hogs off towards the end of the year, I think we're going to close out on all of the debt that we incurred, which will be really nice. So we got the grain cart all unloaded. We're going to shut that down there. We've got the combine all done. Yeah, I think we're going to run this up to the elevator and knock these contracts out real quick here and see how we did. All right, we're up here at the co-op, getting pulled in here. Let's get our tarps off and start unloading these oats. I'm expecting to get all the way through both contracts with just the grain in the front hopper here, so let's see how it goes. There's contract 21 finished, and hopefully the one on field was at 25. 25's almost there. Oh, didn't quite get there. 61%, not bad. All right, let's pull forward a smidge. Wait till that hopper goes down. I'll get in the middle of the grate. We'll definitely get there. I'm just curious to see how much money we make on top of the contract straight up. There we go. 25 is finished, and we're gonna make a bonus of what, 2 grand? Not quite 2 grand. Oh, we got an environmental score bonus though. That's cool. So we're gonna come in here and complete these contracts now. Collect, collect, collect. There we go. Another, what, 5, 7, 10, a little bit more than 10 grand, almost 11 grand. No complaints, no complaints. All right, so with that contract finished, I think we're gonna be good here in the month of July. We look here at the calendar, we do need to make it all the way up till October before our own crops are gonna start being ready. And so we'll see. We're gonna be moving the date forward here a bit. In fact, maybe we'll do that real quick here before we end the episode. Let's jump forward to August and take a look at where our animals are at. Because right now we're at 42,000 liters of food, and I want to see how much food we're using. I keep guessing. I will say as you get into different parts of the day with the light, that the lighting does look a lot better, so maybe that's more on me. I know I was complaining in the last couple episodes about not quite liking the light, and so since we're driving our equipment back and skipping time forward, I thought I'd just include this little clip here so that you could see the differences in lighting. Now, I don't like how dark it is. I liked the previous settings where dark wasn't so dark. This is realistic. I don't like realistic dark. It's too dark. I can't see what I'm doing. I can't play the game like this, although the lighting with the car behind me looks pretty good, but it doesn't make for good videos being in the dark like this. You can see we've got some property maintenance costs on some of the buildings and stuff we got that adds up quite a bit. It's actually significantly more than our loan interest right now, so we should have paid down some of that loan, but honestly at $200 and some, I'm not too worried about the loan. We're gonna park the combine here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this grain cart, and as you can see, we're about to start getting into dawn here. Hopefully the lights should start coming up, and we're gonna slow time down a little bit here. I should have done it just a smidge earlier, but you can see things look a lot better in the dawn through daytime modes. I do like how the lighting changes here as the sun comes up and it starts getting lighter and lighter. So there are some pros here. I'm gonna fast forward time a bit and we'll get into the middle of the day here again. Maybe I'll go up until 10 o'clock or so. I think it's this dawn time that things get bright. I guess the colors do look pretty good if we turn the lights off here. I don't know. I guess it does look good as I get later into the day here. Maybe it was just the time of day we were in the previous area where I was complaining a little bit, because right now I'm feeling like this looks pretty good. It's getting a little bit more washed out as I get into the 7-8 o'clock hour here. I'm gonna let it go all the way until maybe like noon. And so yeah, it's just those morning hours where it comes in at an angle that things look kind of odd and washed out. Now that I'm into past 10:30, things are looking pretty good. So I'm going to slow us down to 1x time. We're going to get all of this equipment over here by the shed because it needs a solid wash here. And we're going to jump into our animal menu as promised and take a look and see how we're doing here. So here we are. We were at 42,000 something food. Now we're at 27. So that's going a ton faster than I thought it was with the extra hogs in here. That gives us really only one more month of full food. And then in the next month, we're going to be running out of food already. That's extremely concerning, especially because these hogs are going to reproduce yet again after the next month. Yeah, and these are getting closer, so we're gonna start having some major food problems. Looking at this, so we've got food for next month, I said, and then the month after that, we're gonna have some problems. So we might lose a little bit of productivity on our hogs getting into October, because we can't start harvesting till we're into October, but we will get food for them again in that month. So we're going to be right on the edge. Man, I don't know if we're going to have enough corn between these two fields to keep feeding these hogs through to the next fall. I don't think we are. Man, we're going to have some interesting times here over the next few episodes. However, I think that this is a great place to wrap things up for today. We've made a lot of good progress on these fields, and I think next episode we may just jump time forward again and get ready for our own corn harvest here. I don't know that there's a lot else going on our farm at the moment. Our little garden here is doing good, making us a little bit of profit, keeping things going. And it's working well. That's all for today. Ketterk, out. Continue to try and use, oh my goodness. Oh god. We tried to take a shortcut and the train's gonna get us. Oh no. Super Strike doesn't work since the patch. I forgot to get the update. Oh no. Oh no. Oh gosh. Yeah, this is what I get for trying to sneak around. Oh, look at that. This truck is awesome.